Pinecrest. Now running for County Commissioner. James McDonald running for the board of former councilman of Pinecrest. Jose Ramadic, do not hold it against him. He went to another school called Berlin, went to Georgetown. He's here to raise money for the zoo, right, Jose? Yes. Bob Ross, the only person in Pinecrest that has agriculture in Pinecrest. 2 acres, selling mangoes, am I correct? Not this time. Ron Magill! Batman!
Thank you, brother. Well, I tell you, I had been to many of these breakfasts, listening, you had mayors, you had presidential candidates, you've had big football coaches, and when Grant said, I want you to speak at this thing, I thought it was a joke, I thought he was fucking me. I said, I'm a zookeeper. He goes, no, I want you to speak at this thing. Grant, come on. I said, okay. I said, I got to come and speak that you're not allowed to speak on this subject. We're talking about the water park Miami Wilds. Let me make something very clear. I didn't come to work at the zoo almost 44 years ago to work for an attraction. I came to work for an organization that was going to do something to preserve wildlife, to help conservation, and to keep animals alive in the wild where they belong. This is going to sound a little different from coming from me as someone working in the zoo for almost 44 years. I would never, ever support taking an animal out of the wild and putting it in captivity unless we're saving that individual animal's life or we're saving the species that it represents. And zoos have done that, folks. California condor, Arabian oryx, black-footed ferret, these are species that would be gone were it not for zoos. But we've got to be able to decipher the difference between a zoo, a good accredited zoo, and a roadside attraction. When that train wreck of a show, Tiger King, came out, it did more damage to good zoos than anything else. Because people thought that's what zoos are. Idiots who pull babies from their mothers and use them to take pictures. And, it's just exploiting the animal. That's not what I came to work for. And I've always been proud of our zoo. That's what we've done. Now, we've made some mistakes. Everybody does. All of the state of Florida. Less than 3% of it exists today. And the biggest tract outside of Everglades National Park is right there at Zoo Miami. Now, this water park came up for a vote in 2006. And I voted for it. I was on that phone tree where I was calling people, vote for this. This is a good thing for the park. This is a good thing for the park. 2006 was 17 years ago. What we have learned since then has been incredible information. We've discovered new species. We're discovering new species in that forest almost every year. We've all heard about the bonneted bat, right? Okay. I'm not one of these people, no! Extremism in any form is dangerous. We've got to be able to compromise, do something there. The most critically endangered habitat in the entire state. Their only choice is to die. So don't let that narrative of we're just building on a parking lot. It's not just a parking lot. If you go out, understand critical habitat is not just the ground, folks. If you protect a critical part of the ocean, if a part of the ocean said, no, you cannot fish here, you cannot hunt here, you think it's just protecting the ocean floor? No, habitat is the column of life all the way up. Those animals are not only using that area, that parking lot to feed, they're also using it as a occasion. We have a special event, we bring lights in on trucks, when the event's over, we move it out. That's misinformation that was given to the commission that enabled them to write this lease, okay? And I want to make it clear too, I've got nothing personal against Miami Wilds or the people of Miami Wilds. I understand they're trying to make a living. But the only horse speak on this? Hell no! I'll come out, and that's why I said, I gotta be a private citizen. And that's the other thing that was so hilarious. So I've come out, and I'm all over the place doing this stuff, and we brought awareness, because you know what, folks? I'm not doing this work. Because they said, no, there was some noise in there. What they did was, they used software that immediately eliminated any call that wasn't totally clean. So if they had sounds of like crickets or birds or whatever in the back, no good, threw it out. Fish and Wildlife says, all those calls need to be individually analyzed. That's their recommendation. They didn't do that. So they threw out over 80% of all their calls. But even with the less than 20% that they had, the numbers that they submitted still classified as high activity of these bats in the lot by U.S. Fish and Wildlife. You didn't hear them say that. You didn't hear them say, oh, it's still high activity. No, you heard them say, so our numbers are like just 5% of what the scientists were reporting, which are laughable numbers. No, you know why? Because the scientists took all the calls and individually examined those calls. I'll give you an analogy. Who've been so instrumental in my career. I'm really nobody special, but they provided me a platform to tell a story. They provided me a platform to connect people, especially kids, to wildlife. Because there's an old saying that says, in the end, you protect what you love what you understand, and you understand what you're taught. And my goal is to teach all of you that we have a precious treasure here that can't be found anywhere else in the world. We've got to protect it. The zoo should take pride in saying we are located on critical habitat. We are the guardians of this property. We'll make sure that if and when anything gets developed on this lot, it's something that benefits wildlife, does not take away from it. That's our mission, that's our brand. That's what we've got to do. And I will fight until they fire my ass to do that. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you guys just email and call the commissioners, it's up to them. You know, I really believe this. Maybe I'm being naive because this politics stuff is not in my wheelhouse. But I really think this is a new commission. I think these commissioners, the majority of them are listening. I think they're going to take advantage of it all. Chairman Gilbert said that if he didn't see any significant changes in the item, he was not going to allow speakers. We're going to have a lot of people there. If they do allow speakers, yes, it will be 1 minute. They'll probably cut me off again, but it doesn't matter.